Welcome back to the second episode of Thoughts from the Porch podcast. Glad you're back. Um, Today we have a very special guest who's going to be a frequent guest on our podcast, and her name is
Esha.
Esha. Was one of my former students at Webb. Um, and our whole podcast today is going to be about gratitude and what we're thankful for. So I'm just going to introduce you to Esha a little bit at a time. First of all, by asking her, what are you thankful for today, Esha?
I'm grateful for all the connections I got to make and all the people I get to see every single day. What about you?
I'm thankful that this we're gonna do this together, but I'm thankful for the fact that I have a great relationship with Esha, and I say that because of this. I'm 61 years old.
I'm 18.
I'm male.
I'm female.
I'm Christian.
I'm Hindu.
I'm white.
I'm brown.
And even despite all those differences, and the fact that our culture and society often says there's no way that you can be friends with each other because you're so different. But Isha, can we be friends with each other?
Yeah, and we have the best conversations all the time.
We do. And that's what we are both thankful for lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about Isha too is when I first got to know her, one thing that she would do to me every single day, I always greeted students outside my door and stood in the hallway when I was teaching. And she would always ask me one question every single day. What would you ask me every day?
What are you grateful for today?
What am I grateful for? And I knew that question was coming. So on my way to school every morning, I'm thinking, okay, I got to have something for Isha. I got to have something I'm thankful for, which did me so much good because it made me think about things I'm grateful for, which is awesome. How about you?
Well, I think that when you look for things to be grateful for, you genuinely train your brain to find positivity, even if it's like a small thing, but like things like our health, the fact that we can move and walk, and like that we get to go to school and we have like air conditioning and things like that you take for granted. It makes you much more positive.
I love what you said there. She mentioned little, things we don't think about all the time, little things or things we take for granted, and that's oftentimes what we would say to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it was, "I can breathe through my nose today,"
Yeah,
because I've had a cold lately, or I can walk. I got out of bed and my legs worked. I can walk. Can you think of a couple of little things like that?
yeah, just like again being able to move, being able to go to the school we went to and see all those people, and especially if we're getting better from being sick or if we miss some school or something, just being able to come back and be fully healthy, that's a really good thing.
That's awesome. A couple of things I do want to share just from teaching and things I learned. November was my favorite month of the year, pretty much. I love October too, but November's really cool because of Thanksgiving, which is my favorite holiday. And in class, every day in November, when I walked in, I would always start the class off with, "You got to give me the whole class, give me three things you're thankful for." And we would do that because November is just a thankful month. And that was so awesome to hear what all the kids would say. And also PDs, if any teachers listen to this, PDs oftentimes the worst thing that we ever have to do. I'm not going to miss one of those being retired. But we did have one PD that was really meaningful, and it was a psychologist came to speak to us about mental health as teachers, and he said there are 5 great things for your mental health. And it's going to sound crazy, but they were drink water, eat well, exercise, sleep, and be grateful. And 4 of those things are physical things that are great for your mental health. But the last one is being grateful is so great for your mental health. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, because there's so many good things in the world, but it's really your ability to notice them that makes it count.
Love that. That's exactly right. Also looked up some things, and Isha's already mentioned a couple of these things, but like science has proven that being grateful for things is really good for you. Now, that's not a reason to be grateful. You need to be grateful for better reasons than that, but you get a benefit from being grateful. Science has shown that it lowers stress, it lowers depression, it increases your self-esteem. Physically, better sleep. It improves your immunities of all things and actually gives you better heart health. If your heart is filled with gratitude, you have better heart health. Would you agree with that too?
And you're just happier, you're more positive, and more people want to be around you.
That's exactly right. When I think about Isha, that's who she is. One of the most positive people you'll ever meet. I think that's why she probably started then asking me that question, "What are you thankful for?" Because that's just her. She's always thankful and always encouraging. Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, before I met you, you were like the coolest person ever.
Oh
and
my
I
goodness.
always was like, I want to talk to Mr. Brown, but I don't know what to say to him because he seems so cool and so full of stories. And I remember I was in Miss Tinker's history class, and I was like, what question could I ask? And I remember the day I came up with it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, because I had that class right before your class. And you're just so fun, and you stand outside your door every day and fist bump people as they enter, and it's so nice because I've never seen anyone else do that ever. And it just brings such a nice culture.
I need to cut her off right there. She's making my head too big. But that was my favorite part of the day, and I hope a lot of teachers do that same thing because it means a lot.
Yeah.
Couple cool things I want to say before we close this thing out. I was telling Esha earlier, I have a kid, former kid, Braden, if you're listening, this is you. One of my first years at Webb. He just posted a reel on Instagram this week of all the things he's thankful for. Must have been 10 or 12 things. I was saying, I can't believe he did that on the week we're doing a gratitude podcast. It was really cool. So Braden, thank you for that. Also want to thank everyone for last week. I got so many messages and positivity based on our first attempt. And I'm never going to be one to ask you to subscribe or like or whatever. That's not why we're doing this. We're doing this because some of the former students want us to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're doing it. We're going to leave you with 3 challenges, and I hope you take one. Esha, I'm going to let you do the first one. I'll do the last 2 if that's okay.
Perfect.
But try these challenges 1 week and just see what happens. See how good you feel. See how good other people feel just by doing this. So Esha, I'll let you start it off.
Well, tell someone this week how thankful you are for them. And it could be like a small thing. It could be a person you don't even know. It could be the person checking you out at a store, literally anything. Just find one positive thing to say about them or just one thankful thing because it really makes other people's day.
Love that. And 2 more challenges. And even if you do one of these, that's awesome. One thing that's helps too, maybe write down 3 things every morning that you're thankful for. Get a little Post-it note while you're having your coffee or whatever it is you're doing in the morning. And just write down, even if it's a note app on your phone, write down 3 things you're thankful for. I think that's really powerful. And the last one, to be honest, I stole this from my brother. So Mark, if you're listening, thank you for this. Actually get your phone out once a day and take a picture of something you're thankful for and look at it back during the day. Now, I'm going to be selfish here. And if you do that, I almost wish you would post it somewhere or tag me in it so I could see it. That way I could be thankful too for the same thing. I just think that's a great idea. Take a picture of something. I'm going to do it this week. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm going to post about 7 pictures this week of just things I'm thankful for and people I'm thankful for. So if you can follow me, look out for those. One more thing about the podcast before we close it up. And I'm grateful. I already told you, I'm thankful for Esha today coming on here. And this podcast will never be one. I watch podcasts on this podcast all the time. And I hear all the famous people and all the famous authors and, just famous people on podcasts. This is not going to be that. To me, I think everyday people who live life well are the real rock stars. Esha is a rock star, and I know a lot of them. So we'll have some others on, but that's what this is going to be about. And I'm thankful for everyday people who just.
I agree. That's a really good thing to be thankful for.
Make life better. All right. We'll close this thing out. Esha, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And as I say, she'll be back probably quite often.
Yeah.
I hope. So thank you. We end with the same 3 words we end the class with every single day. I'll let you finish it. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll say grace and
peace.